Well, folks, it seems Brexit wasn't quite the amicable divorce from Europe that some had envisioned. In fact, things are getting a tad, well, internationally awkward. You see, in an unprecedented move for 2025, several countries have decided that when it comes to British immigrants, they'd rather, well, not. That's right. We're talking outright bans. Now, you might be thinking bans like full-on you shall not pass, Gandalf-style bans. And the answer, my friends, is a resounding yes. We're talking about countries rolling up the welcome mat, putting a sock on the door handle, and basically telling anyone with a British passport to go forth and multiply somewhere else. So buckle up as we delve into this geopolitical minefield and explore the top 10 countries making headlines for giving the boot to British migrants. We'll examine the reasons behind these controversial decisions, from political tension thicker than a bowl of British porridge to economic policies colder than a British winter. Hit that subscribe button and let's get into it, shall we? First up, we have Country 1, a nation known for its stunning, mention a characteristic of the country, for example, mountains, beaches, and apparently its aversion to British bankers. The primary reason behind their new immigration policy? Well, it seems that after Brexit, Country 1 saw an influx of financial institutions moving in from London, bringing with them a wave of, shall we say, financially comfortable Brits. This, as you can imagine, didn't sit well with the locals, who saw housing prices skyrocket faster than a bottle rocket on Guy Fawkes' night. So, in a move straight out of a Monopoly game gone wrong, Country 1 decided to ban British citizens from purchasing property, effectively slamming the brakes on British immigration. Next, we travel to Country 2, a land known for its, mention a cultural aspect of the country, for example, traditional music, unique cuisine. But lately it seems that Country 2 has been grappling with an identity crisis, fueled by a fear of being overrun by, you guessed it, British expats. See, Country 2 has always prided itself on its strong cultural identity, but with an influx of British retirees seeking sunnier pastures, the locals are starting to feel like strangers in their own land. Complaints about too many tea shops and not enough, mention a local tradition and activity, have become commonplace, prompting the government to restrict visas for British retirees. Moving on, we arrive at Country 3, a nation still smarting from a particularly nasty Brexit-related spat. You see, Country 3 and the UK used to be the best of mates, sharing trade deals and the occasional passive-aggressive comment about each other's cooking. But then came Brexit, and suddenly everything changed. Arguments over fishing rights escalated faster than a brawl in a pub car park, leaving a bitter taste in everyone's mouths. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, briefly explain the recent event that caused the ban. The result? Country 3 slammed the door shut on British immigrants, proving that hell hath no fury like a person from Country 3 scorned. Our next stop is Country 4, a country grappling with an economic downturn that's got everyone feeling a bit, well, down. Unemployment is up, wages are down, and the price of, mention a popular food item in Country 4, is through the roof. In a desperate attempt to appease the restless masses, the government has decided to make British immigrants the scapegoat. They're blaming them for taking jobs, driving down wages, and basically being the reason why everyone's having to eat. Mention a less desirable food item for dinner. Is it fair? Debatable? Is it effective? Well, that's what they're hoping to find out. Let's head over to Country 5. Where immigration has become the political football being kicked around by opportunistic politicians. You see, in Country 5, there's a general election on the horizon, and the leading political party has discovered a surefire way to rile up their base, blaming everything on British immigrants. They're promising to take back control of the borders, protect Country 5 values, and basically make Country 5 great again, all by making it nearly impossible for British citizens to immigrate. It's a classic case of political manoeuvring using fear and xenophobia to score easy points with voters. Our journey takes us now to Country 6, a nation with a complex and frankly rather uncomfortable history with the UK. See, briefly explain the historical context, for example, colonial past conflicts. It's a past that has left scars that are slow to heal, and the recent influx of British immigrants has, shall we say, reopened some old wounds. There's a sense among some in Country 6 that the British haven't quite grasped the concept of bygones being bygones. And the government, keen to capitalise on this sentiment, has decided to make it very clear that the welcome mat is no longer out for British immigrants. In Country 7, it seems the people have spoken, and what they're saying is, we're full up on British immigrants, thanks. You see, Country 7 conducted a recent poll, and the results were about as subtle as a brick through a window. A whopping percentage of respondents believe that British immigration should be restricted. Now, polls can be a fickle mistress, often influenced by factors like media narratives and, let's be honest, plain old prejudice. But the fact remains that in Country 7, public opinion has swayed decidedly against British immigrants, making it politically expedient for the government to follow suit. Chapter 8. Country 8, A Name of Country, rewrites the rules on British immigration. Over in Country 8, the government has taken a more, shall we say, legalistic approach to keeping British immigrants out. They haven't gone so far as to implement an outright ban, but they've made it abundantly clear that they'd prefer it if British citizens just stayed put. How, you ask? By quietly introducing a series of seemingly minor legal changes that, when combined, create a bureaucratic obstacle course worthy of an Olympic event. Think visa requirements so specific they make a heart surgeon's scalpel look blunt and financial thresholds so high they'd make even a Premier League footballer blush. Chapter 9, Country 9, Name of Country and the British Expat Exodus. Meanwhile, in Country 9, the decision to ban British immigrants has had unintended consequences, leading to what can only be described as a mass exodus of British expats. See, Country 9 was once a popular destination for British retirees, drawn by its warm climate, affordable healthcare. But with the new ban in place, these expats are packing their bags and heading for the exit, leaving behind empty villas, struggling businesses, and a whole lot of unanswered questions about who exactly is going to win the annual Country 9 Bake-Off now. Chapter 10. The world says cheerio to open borders. What's next for British immigrants? So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the 10 countries that have decided British immigrants are about as welcome as a rain cloud at a picnic. The reasons, as we've seen, are as varied as the countries themselves, ranging from political opportunism to genuine economic concerns. But one thing's for sure, the global immigration landscape is changing, and for British citizens, the days of hopping on a plane and starting a new life abroad may be coming to an end. Whether this trend continues remains to be seen, but one thing's for certain, the world is watching, and the implications of these bans will be felt for years to come. Outro: stay tuned, stay informed, stay global. Well, maybe not literally. So, what did we learn today? Well, apart from the fact that international relations are more complicated than a game of four-dimensional chess played on a unicycle, it seems that the world is becoming a slightly less welcoming place for British immigrants. But hey, don't despair. There are still plenty of countries that haven't slammed the door shut on British citizens yet. We'll be keeping a close eye on global immigration trends, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an update. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think about these immigration bans? Are they justified, or are they a sign of growing xenophobia? Share your thoughts in the comments below.